Congratulations, guys. You've just been celebrating with the travelling Chelsea supporters. But Reece, how good did that feel for you to score on your 200th Chelsea appearance today and get all 3 points too?
No, it was amazing. Always coming back after international break. We've always found it tough. Last time on international break we had our form wasn't so good when we came back, so we knew we needed to make changes and start fast. And coming here is a super tough place to come. And first half we created a few chances, but it was 0-0. And second half we came alive and we got the 3 points.
Josh, what a special moment for you. Your first senior goal for Chelsea. How did that feel?
No, it was quite a surreal experience. It's just a proud moment for me and my family, and I just want to thank God. So.
Reece, how proud are you of him, seeing him come through the Chelsea youth system?
Yeah, no, it's amazing to see. He's finally playing more regular, and he's showing the world how good he is and what he's capable of. And he's an amazing boy and an amazing player, and long may it continue.
As two academy boys, what's it like for you having someone like Reece to look up to, who's now the captain of this club?
Yeah, it's like inspiration to know that you can come through the academy and play for Chelsea first team. So I'm also grateful for Reece and all the other academy players. They give me lots of support, so it's good.
Much more to come from him?
Yeah, for sure. He's still so young. He's played a decent amount of games, but he's so young. He has a super bright future, and he'll kick on for sure.
You talked about the importance of getting this result today. How tough did you find it out there, particularly in that first half, as you mentioned, knowing that this Forest team were going to be fighting for absolutely everything today?
Yeah, of course. They made it tough for us. It's always hard, playing against a five, when they was maybe slightly more defensive. But, as the game went on, we kind of got into our rhythm a bit more and, created more. And then we finally, took the chances when they fell to us.
Well done today. Congratulations, both of you. And Reece, you're today's player of the match. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll talk a lot more about Nottingham and Forest. We will be hearing the post-match thoughts of Ange Postecoglou as well, still to come on the show today. But Glenn, at half-time, you said that Chelsea had to wake up. Let's give some credit to them for the way they came out in the second half and for the changes as well that Enzo Mariska made.
Yeah, as I said, he sat upstairs today because he couldn't be down on the bench. He's looked at it and gone, I've got to make changes. And sometimes you have a bit of clarity from up there. He's gone down and he's been spot on as a manager. He's made the real key changes. I think Caicedo coming on gave him that little bit of strength and gave him that sort of, if you like, everyone was giving him the ball and they knew the ball was safe. Whereas in the first half, they looked shaky. They kept giving the ball away. They were unforced errors that Forest didn't punish Chelsea at. And you just think, well, got to calm down here, Chelsea. And he went on there and played very calmly, just got everyone around. Didn't do that much with the ball, but it was just that security feeling that you felt second half. And they got better and better and better, Chelsea.
And Mark Guillot as well, I think he gave him something else. Yeah. I think João Pedro could drop deep and get on the ball a little bit more and control the game, and I thought he gave him a little bit going forward as well.
Has it sort of shifted your view of them at all as title challengers, Peter?
No, it's not shifted it. No, I classed them that before the game. I think the result against Liverpool was massive for them. If they're winning games as comfortably as they have today, with the amount of injuries that they've got, Josh Achimpong as well was fantastic coming in today, and this man as well.
Pedro Neto, who joins us now. Good to see you, Pedro. Peter was actually singing your praises at half-time, saying that you were the biggest threat for Chelsea, the most likely to cause problems, and you popped up with an assist and a goal in the second half. How do you sum up your own performance and the way the team played today?
No, I thought in the beginning of the game we start well. But after that, it was a little bit difficult for us. As you can see, they had opportunities. I think they were a little bit on top of the game. And as always, I like to step up on these kind of moments. And I always try to help the team as much as I can. And then in the second half, I knew that they couldn't come with the same energy that they had in the first half. I thought we were going to control more the game, and hopefully I could help the team.
How important was it just to keep that momentum going after finishing on such a high before the international break with that win over Liverpool?
No, it was really important, to be honest, because after the international break on the last month, we didn't start really well. We didn't win the 3 games that we had, and it was really important to start this way, to come with this difficult pitch here with this environment is very difficult. So we are really happy with that.
Can I just ask what the manager said at half-time? Obviously, it's difficult for him to be up there in the stand, but obviously he made 3 substitutions. Was there a big shift in the second half as well?
No, it's like you were saying. We needed to change some things. We need to be more aggressive. We need to be more aggressive on defensive ways as well to keep more the ball. I think we didn't did that on the first half, and in the second half, as you can see, we keep more the ball. We scored 3 goals, and we are really happy with that.
Pedro, you play on the right hand side with your left foot coming in, but do you like being sometimes on that left hand side where you can go on the outside and get crosses in with your natural foot?
Yeah, I will be honest. I feel comfortable to play both sides. If you ask me if I have a favorite one, of course I will not lie. I would say right side is the side that I prefer the most. But as I say, I like to play both sides and help the team. I already play as a striker as well, and if I have to play left back, right back, I will always.
I know if I'm playing here, I'd much prefer you on the left-hand side. Oh, what a ball and a great header. Let's be pleased for Josh as well.
Yeah, really pleased because he's working a lot. He did a fantastic game against Liverpool, and today he did a fantastic game as well.
How big a talent do you think Josh is?
No, he can be a top talent. I think he has to continue to work. I always am in his foot, joking with him that he has to be more aggressive. And today he did a fantastic job, and I'm really happy for the goal.
You're such a young side, right? But how far can this team go? I mean, is this season too early to be talking about challenging for the title?
I will be honest with you. I like the way that we did last season. We go game by game, day by day, and that is the thing. We have to live in the present. We have to keep working hard to not to show to the people, but to show to ourselves what we can do.
And then you got on the score sheet yourself as well. Did you just see that gap?
No, I will be honest. Before the last game, if we had a free kick, me and Reece, we spoke about that. And in this match, he said to me, I asked him, do we go to the side of the keeper? And he told me, no, we go back to the same side. And as you can see, he gives a step to the right side, and here,
just a little shift of the ball. And Jesus comes out of the wall. He makes a gap, and you find the gap perfectly.
No, because we saw clips from teams as well already. And normally the goalkeeper always, when you give this kind of roll ball, he always gives a step to the right to try to watch the ball or to win a little bit of space to go to the same side. And Reece said to me, no, we put on the same side because for sure the ball will go in, and we are really happy with that.
You've started every Premier League game, every Champions League game so far. It almost feels like you've made yourself unbenchable for Chelsea. What do you think has been key to your consistency in the team?
I think work hard every day. Like I said, I work every day to be the best I can, and I will continue to do that to help the team.
And when you came off, Estevao came on. I just want to ask you a little bit about him because he's made a big impact already at such a young age. What have been your impressions of him since he signed for the club?
It's a really good kid. And you can see the happiness on his football, and I think it's very important for the team to have a guy like this as well, like João Pedro as well, and we are really happy to have him on the team.
Pedro, thanks very much for coming out to join us. Congratulations on the win.
Well
done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Pedro Neto there, goal and an assist in that win, and it is a win for Chelsea, a defeat for Nottingham Forest, which has led to the sacking of Ange Postecoglou. The club have already announced that the manager has been sacked. This is the statement. Nottingham Forest Football Club can confirm that after a series of disappointing results and performances, Ange Postecoglou has been relieved of his duties as head coach with immediate effect. The club will make no further comment at this time. Well, we know the owner isn't a man for patience, but that was a very quick reaction today. Peter, your response? Yeah,
I think the decision was made the minute he left his seat. I think it was the empty seat spoke volumes. I think myself and Glenn were discussing off air. It was pretty obvious that the decision was going to be made. The fact that it's been made quite so soon after the game, I thought he might have let the dust settle a couple of hours. But this chairman certainly doesn't mess about.
What was the point, Glenn, where you felt there was no way back?
Well, I think when he left the stadium, I don't know if he left the stadium, he might have gone into a box.
He went into
something.
his box, actually, didn't leave the stadium.
To leave his seat there after 60 minutes, it weren't like it was 85 minutes. I think that was a statement in itself, really, in many ways. But like Peter, I'm surprised he's done it so quickly after the game. Let the dust settle and let Ange sort of have a little bit more pride and going out. But this is football. Eight games, all right, they haven't gone very well, but after 8 matches, if you're a manager, that's no time at all. It really isn't. Even though results are not going great, if you bring somebody in that's going to be going to be right for the club, and you think he's right for the club, surely he's got to be given more time than that. I'm putting my manager's head on. But at the end of the day, with this owner, no, he's going to make his decisions and move on to the next one.
Do you think it's a ludicrous amount of time to be making a change, Peter, after 8 games in charge?
I think, yeah, I mean, you'd expect more. I mean, it's really difficult for Ange, but I do think the results were there. And I think the way the crowd were, there was a kind of almost a toxic atmosphere before the game. You know, they've all left the stadium. I do think it was beginning to be a real problem, and I don't think results would have got better as quickly. It's probably the right decision, although it does seem incredibly unfair after just 8 games. But even when he was hired, I mean, his beliefs and his philosophy was so different to what had done so well in the previous season. I think everyone in football was a little bit surprised by the appointment being chalk and cheese. It was so different to Nuno, and they had great success under Nuno.
Given that, do you think he was almost doomed from the start?
No, not from the start. I mean, even today they should have been and could have easily been 2-0 up. With the chances, that's down to the players. Ange can't be blamed for that, the misfiring in front of goals. So they get a 2-2 draw out of this, or they win 2-1, he wouldn't have been sacked. It would have been a little bit of a footing to then a stepping stone to try and grow and get more confidence, get the crowd back on his side. They're the small things. They're the dividing line. So whoever comes in at this football club as manager knows he's got 8 games. He's going to be given 8 games, is he, to make a success of it? And that doesn't seem right to me. It really doesn't.
I do also think it's a great job. You know, it's a side in Europe at the moment with fantastic players, and it's a great job for someone to get the teeth into.
For who? Who will be getting that job? Obviously, there's been all of those stories about Sean Dyche during the international break. There's obviously lots of reasons for that. He wouldn't need any compensation. He lives close by. He's got Ian Woan and Steve Stone, club legends alongside him. So you can see why those links are being made. But do you think he would be a suitable replacement?
Yeah, I do. I think it's whether or not he can get a long-term deal. I mean, you know, I've worked with Sean Dyche, and I actually love working with him, and Ian Woan and Steve Stone as well, are absolute legends at the club. If the club needs a lift of any point, which it probably does at the moment, those 2 players coming in alone is going to lift the spirits of this place. Absolute legends of Nottingham Forest, and Sean Dyche has a proven track record of in the Premier League, and you know, they're in a situation now where you're looking towards the bottom rather than the top. Who better to steer the ship than Sean Dyche?
They could end up in the bottom 3 this weekend. Would that be seen as a sort of firefighting appointment if that was made?
Well, I don't think Sean would look at that if he came. I think it's an obvious choice, the people that he's got and bringing him with him to get the crowd back on the side straight away, instantly. Whoever comes in, the one criteria, they've got to get results, and they've got to get them quick. Now, that is pressure in itself. And if you don't get them quick, how long is the owner going to give them? Again, is it 8 games? So, you know, Sean would know, or whoever comes in would know, actually, we're up against it. Result-wise, we've got to get results. And, you know, if he goes 3 or 4 games without a win, how long does that one last again? So there's no continuity with what the owner's actually done. But it's within his own rights to do it. Of course, it's his football club. But I'm thinking from a manager's point of view, it's impossible to... He hasn't had a pre-season. Amorim kept saying when he went into Man United, I need a pre-season. Well, he's had a pre-season, and perhaps, you know, you haven't seen that much change. That's a different story. And he's still in his job.
Absolutely. And said in his press conference yesterday, where he was making a very passionate defence of himself, that talked about the way he's viewed, which prism he's viewed with, and said, I don't fit in, not here or anywhere. Do you think he is sort of judged differently, unfairly? Why do you think he said that?
No, I just think last season, I think there was a lot of frustration, certainly from Tottenham fans, about not being adaptable, not changing, and maybe not seeing certain things in games where it felt like it was crying out, stop going forward, you know, and the high line was obviously something that was very well documented. I think that's just where the frustration was creeping in, was, you know, we were losing games, Spurs were losing games, and continued to play the same way. And I think, you know, he's come in here and kind of stuck to those beliefs, a very possession-based game, and all of Forest's success of the last season, I don't want to keep harping on about last season, but was built on the counter-attack. I mean, he didn't play Hudson-Odoi today. Obviously, Elanga was sold, but that pace in those wide areas and the counter-attacking football was the reason they're successful. And obviously there was none of that today. It was very central. It was very congested. Although they had chances, it was very much of Chelsea creating their own problems, really.
So credit to Chelsea, for obviously getting the job done. Like we said, these are the games that you need to win if you want to challenge up near the top. But Nottingham Forest made it very difficult for Chelsea, especially in the first half. You could say slightly fortunate because at this level you have to take your chances. From Nottingham Forest's point of view, the game could have been dead and buried. There was numerous chances in that first half. They didn't take them, and this is the level you get punished. I think there was 2 goals in 3 minutes, and that's the game finished. So credit to Chelsea, they got the job done. 3 points in the pocket. That's Forest is unfortunate.
Shay, you thought those Forest chances could come back to haunt them, and you were right.
Yeah, I think Mariska as well at half time said the first half wasn't good enough, and of course they didn't take them. This is obviously the first goal. It's a brilliant ball from Neto. Don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic ball, but we're trying to look at the defensive side of things here from a Nottingham Forest. Murillo gets attached to Geu, and he's not doesn't know that Josh is behind him. He really doesn't. There's a gap between him and Marato around the back. Champong is free as a birdie. 19 Premier League first goal. It's don't get an easier header. Well, I don't think, to be honest. But from a Nottingham Forest point of view, I think Murillo's got to pass him on to Sangara. He's got to drop into the space. A feed from Marato around the back because he's a 2v1 around the back, and it's a simple goal in a sense. But what does make the goal, take nothing away from obviously being in the box, but the ball from Neto was world class. Brilliant ball.
What does the former centre back make of that though in the 6-yard box?
That was a great summary. His point of view. I think he's right, Murillo. I think where he falls short, he's just not scanning initially. I'm not sure he's aware that Chimpong was behind him. Initially he's got his man, or he thinks he's got his man. He's touched tight. He goes behind, and obviously he's got a free header now. The gap is too big. But like I said, I think the error comes initially from not just opening your body position and just scanning just to see. He wasn't quite aware that he was behind him. He felt the man next to him. He went with that run. Obviously neglecting the guy behind. But take nothing away. This is the quality, this is the difference sometimes, and Neto's involved in obviously the 2 goals. But this is sometimes the quality. If that ball's short, it's cleared away. The ball was inch perfect.
And the damage came in quick fire, didn't it? What did you make, Shay, of the wall, the setup from a Forest point of view for this Pedro Neto free kick?
Well, again, I think there's a camera shot the Ange after this, and it's really poor. Honestly, it's so poor defending. We highlight here Jesus on the wall. I don't know where he goes. Keep an eye on him. He takes a step to the right, leaves a massive gap now. That's where he's supposed to be standing. Well, exactly where we have that shade of ground. Sales has a look. I think he leans to his right hand side. You see he's putting his weight to the right hand side. He's trying to get a look at the ball because as a goalkeeper you feel a bit, if you can't see the ball you're in trouble. But again, take nothing away from Sales. I think he should save it. I think he should go with one hand. I think he should drive off and make the block. Neto's thinking I hit the target, I've got a chance. But again, from a defensive point of view, there was, as I say, there's a close-up of the manager, and he's gone down these hunkers. That's a basic defending. He should stay in the wall, Jesus. Sales should save it as well. A couple of mistakes there, and they're 2-0 down, mountain to climb.
Very clever set piece in a way as well. Just that movement, that 1 yard of moving the ball has disrupted the wall and created this space. You see, if he hits it through now, they stay in the wall. That one touch has created that space, has made a reaction in the wall, and the wall now is all over the place.
Well, what I would say, he shouldn't move, Jesus.
No, I don't know where he was going.
You can see on the outside there's 2 chargers. I don't know where he's going. He just wanders away from the wall. It's poor.
I would have thought his first reaction was to go to charge the ball down. He's almost took a step to the right. Like we said, I'm not quite sure why he's made that movement, but he doesn't make that movement if the ball's not touched. So I thought it was a clever piece of play. And the
striker should never be back defending well. They haven't got a clue.
On the set pieces, guys, 11 of the 18 goals that Forest have conceded under Ange Postecoglou have come from set pieces, and this is not a new story. This happened at Tottenham as well. It's a worry, isn't it?
It is a concern, yeah, it certainly is, because I remember him going through that period at Tottenham as well, and I think he came in a press conference and said we don't really work on them. I think you should work on them now. When I think you should, but that's not a great stat.
Is that you concentrating on the weeds coming up?
The weeds?
The weeds that he spoke about before?
Yeah, there weren't many flowers, which is what he was hoping for.
No, he wasn't.
There wasn't, no.
It got worse, didn't it? It could have been more than 3. That's the only sort of positive, that it didn't get completely ugly, but the third came from Reece James late on. Yeah,
when you're down in the bottom of the league as well, the confidence is low. Half the crowd have left at this stage, but it's a set play again. It will be a worry for Ange. It will be a worry for Nottingham Forest. It's unacceptable. We've highlighted Williams and Reece here. and he just wanders off. I'm not sure if Williams on doing the edge of the box or he's supposed to be picking up Reece James, but he actually does neither. He sort of comes alive when it's too late. And again, I'll have to look at Matt Sells with the punch. I think he's got to go height and distance with the punch and get it away from it. But take nothing away from Reece James. He comes alive in the box, and it's easy to thrash at that well and lash it over the bar or something. He just control finish, and a nice finish from the captain.
Yeah, he's technically gifted, Reece, so obviously he's in the right place, right time.